Well, hello everyone, and in this video I would like to show off a few rigs. So this is a rig I'm currently working on. It's basically a rig that I was trying to get the feel of skin sliding over bone and muscle. Um, so the technique I use was kind of cool, so I thought I would share it. So basically what I did, let's just show the functionality first. So as you can see, I got these eyes moving, and again, I'm still working on the skinning, so we're getting these little weird things happening on the eyelid there. But as you can see, as the eyes move, they push around the flesh a bit. Um, that's basically done with some IK handles and an aim constraint, which is kind of pushing the skin around. So let's start off with the eyebrows. Basically, I got this eyebrow here. Let me just stop the animation. What's happening is when I move the eyebrow, it slides along a surface. I could show these surfaces. Let me just turn off a few things. So this is my surfaces. As you can see, as I slide along the surface, turn on the joints as well. So I got all these joints, and they just slide along the surface. They cannot move. And these are the joints that are being skinned to the bones. Then I have different manipulators that are working them that just slide on these surfaces. And it goes also for the cheekbones that did the same. Right now the other side's not set up, but that's coming. I'm also working on a lot of the mouthpieces. Yeah, so as you can see, as I slide, the geo is being affected, and basically I'm just sliding in a certain area, which is kind of deforming the rest of the area. But because I'm sliding on just a certain section, it's giving me that feel of pushing against something. Yeah, and for the eyes, the same deal. I have basically an aim constraint on one eye, and that's pulling, as I move it, it pulls those eyelids together, and so they follow. Still working on it. It's not perfect yet, so if the technique works, it works. Yeah, so I just undo that. There we go. So that's basically that setup. I also have just a blink, so I can move those separately, and then as the animation will roll, you'll see that kind of the eye moves underneath the flesh. Mouth hasn't been set up, but the jaw has. So when I pull down the jaw for rotate it downward, you can see it pulls the controller after it, which is giving me a nice stretch to it. I'm still working on how to get the pull down as well to kind of do that. So probably it has to be another layer above it. So as I'll move along, I'll kind of get that to work. That's it, and that's the head rig. Again, all of this stuff is still under construction, so a lot of stuff isn't working. But I am getting kind of some nice deformations. The eyes here are still popping, and got to solve some issues there. Anyway, that's the head rig. I'm also working on a few game controls and a few other things. So this is another rig I have that I'm teaching some students how to build just a character rig. Kind of it's a mismatch of all kind of techniques that I thought would be kind of cool. So I'm going to just hide the joints for now. So one thing I kind of like very much is the back control that I've worked on here. So we just got a regular IK back. You know, it's got its twist, all of that set up. What's happening that this controller here is just driving the IK spline twist on it. But I also have FK as well, and all of this is all built in the same way. So as I stretch up, you know, I'm getting a good getting a nice stretch there and squash. And I can also twist, and I'll still get the twisting of the geo, and each one of these is just giving an extra little twist. I can open up the node editor for this, and actually this one doesn't show it, but let me just pause for a second. Alright, so here's the graph. I just had to go in and clean it up quickly. So I have the spline IK curve. I added a spline info node, a curve info node, and then piped that into a multiply divide node, and then used several multiply divide nodes to drive the different joints. So here in this case, I'm having the blend joints, the ones that are kind of binded joints. They are getting just the X going out, and these over here are, so these are the IK joints, so just getting the the scale X to be translated when it's moved, or actually scaled up, and the bound bones to the geo are getting scaled the opposite direction as I pull up. So the effect I'm getting is basically, let me see, I got that there. All right. Basically, is this squash and stretch. So it's kind of a cool mix match of two rigs that I put together. Yeah, so that's that one. And I'm also working on a game with some friends, and this is like some just mechanical stuff. So here's a door, just a simple door, and the idea was to get just something very simple that I can bake the animation and animate. So it's just got a slide, there's a tray here that opens, oops, sorry. There's a tray that opens, so you can choose the tray, slide in and out. There is a just a window here that they can use, and another one. So it's very simple mechanical setup. And the last mechanical setup I want to show off is this bed. This one's a little more complicated. Basically, as the bed goes up, the arms pack in, and I had to get basically it to feel like this is running along a rail and then locking as it gets to the top and when it comes down. So it's just doing that, and it's a very simple setup. I basically have joints on each one of these. Actually, I can just display them. Control H. There we go. So basically I have, just hide the bakeable joints. There you go. Again, this is all for, these are all game assets, so I had to build this especially for our game. So I have this joint aim constraint to the top joint, so this one follows, making this turn, and then this joint here is point constraint to this joint, which is pushing that one up. So as I rotate and the joint at the bottom moves along a curve, which is just there's a path constraint on that, basically is just pushing that up, so I'm getting that effect of kind of a piston thing. So yeah, that's all of the rigs I have to show off. Yeah, I do many other things, kind of rigging, but this is just simple stuff I kind of working on right now, and I thought I would share it with you all. All right, see ya, bye.